Thank you for coming this beautiful Sunday, June 1st. We're in the summertime. Maybe you have nice weather, or maybe you're inundated with rain. Whatever it is, I hope you're enjoying each moment. It's good to see you all. We have our disclaimer on the screen for you to see. Maybe is it? I didn't see it. I was going to actually just go through that real quickly before I welcome each of you. So I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. And I have seen that happen time and time again with people that I love dearly. So welcome to the Global Miracle Call. And we share things from our lives. And this is information, education, and not intended to diagnose or provide any treatment. Everything you try, you take responsibility for yourself. But no, many of us have had life-changing results. And I want to thank Cornelia and Robin, who are our tech support, and Katie, who helps with everything behind the scenes too. And especially my co-host, I'd love to welcome Leonore, who is here, who will be sharing some beautiful things with us. But before I do that, I want to say welcome, Shifra. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. Esther and Ron, Luke, good to see you. Nasib, so happy you're here. Mei Chen, love you, my dear. Christine, happy to see you. Ariona, Nehemiah, Lynn, welcome, welcome. Susan and Joseph, Jerem, and your beautiful Jerem wife. I know your name. I apologize. It's not on the screen. Chris, thank you for being here. Val, love it that you're here. Levi, hugs, Levi. Linda, I'm glad you're having breakfast and you can engage, but I'm so happy that you're here. Very happy. Lynn, good to see you. Okay. So I am going to turn it over now to Katie, who's going to do our announcements.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, day, whatever time it is where you are. It's always makes my heart happy to see everybody here. So announcements this week are the upcoming Love Celebration in Sedona. The time is now. It's only 10 days away. So if you have not registered and you want to register, now is the time. There's a link in the email newsletter that I hope you all have received. That's June 10th, 11th, and 12th that is happening. Then there's also, this is a new thing that looks amazing. On June 22nd, there is going to be an immersive benefit concert for the Ancient Secrets Foundation. So for all of our children, and 100% of the donations go to the children. It's called Nakaloka, and it will be recitations. Hope they speak better than I do. World flutes, so flutes from different parts of the world, storytelling, chants, and it will be from 5 to 8 p.m. at St. Bart's Church in New York City. There's more information about that also in the email newsletter. Our self-paced online recorded courses are available. The Ancient Secrets 101, the 100 Days Immersive course, the emergency course is available. 7-day delicious detox and the 30-day detox are all possibilities for you to start whenever that can work for you. And also, I don't think Peter's on the call today, but the amazing Peter Melnick is doing a 100-mile ultra marathon to raise money, 100 miles for $100,000. He will be running, and all of that money is going to go to the Ancient Secrets Foundation Bridge program. And it was so inspiring to Leonore that she created a rhyme about it. And Leonore, if you're ready, we would love to hear it.
I call it a pep talk, a rhyme for adults and kids or children participating in one way or another in Pete's fundraising bridge project. And you probably all know the bridge project is for the young adults. So I sprinkled all of these words in that we use in the bridge project, and some reference to photographs we saw last week about teens tossing a ball into the basket, into the hoop, and some made it in and some did not. And the rhyme is kind of self-explanatory, but if you have questions afterwards, what did you mean with that? Then ask me. So Robin kindly will have the words scroll down when I start, and that's now. A rhyme for Pete's Ancient Secrets Abundance Run. It's fair to say we hold high hope for an event of megascope. It is Pete's nod to Dr. Pankaj Naram, whose love for orphaned kids began a movement where love teaches, including how to raise a significant sum by joining Pete's Abundance Run. We caught that ball, tossed into our court by Pete, who'd never done this sort of thing like running in a marathon. But here we are, cheering on one another while chiming in the Ancient Secrets Abundance song. The song may come later with music. We aim to do and give our best. We challenge ourselves and will not rest, but follow Pete's unique request to celebrate the young adult graduation fest. No matter the length, we add our strength. We're aiming high, as if to reach the sky. We're setting goals for ourselves to reach our finish line. We have the faith that we succeed in perfect Godspeed's finish time. In our minds, in our hearts, we are so rich, building together that rainbow bridge, sturdy enough to stand upon, then crossing it, aware that we belong forever to the human family, together, strong, and blessed by stars, the moon and sun. That's it.
Thank you, Leonore. That was amazing. Anyone who is interested in doing donating to that run, I do believe we have a link. He's working for that big dollar bill. Yay. Okay, so now we're going to go to the quote of the day. And my beautiful Robin and Esther, I want to say thank you for being here. I didn't catch you first time through, I don't think, and neither did I didn't see Harvey either. So hi, Harvey, good to see you. Okay, so here's the quote for today. Reason is powerless in the expression of love. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Rumi, you'll find that in the chapter 6 on page 83 in the book. I think about, for my attraction to this verse or this quote had to do with barriers. And all the barriers, not just to love, but when, the more I broke that down, it was like, really, love, the barriers inside to love have caused healing, illness in the body, distress in relationships, inability to actually see and be in the moment. So for me, my whole life has been about removing barriers. And then I think about what I was attracted to in Ancient Secrets was the detox, right? And the benefits I got from the mung bean soup. I thought, well, that's removing barriers too, because we're getting rid of toxins in the body that don't allow it to function well. And so the call was put out for someone to host this call for a week or more, maybe longer than that. And everybody's lives are busy, but people were getting ready to go to Sedona. It was a good reason. I knew I couldn't volunteer to lead this call because I know what kind of blocks I have in my life and how much work it takes just to take care of myself on a daily basis. So I knew that there was just no way I could lead this call. But after I was settled into that decision, I somehow had the book in my hand and came across chapter 6, and I read the quote. And the challenge to me was, why don't you see how the love of life, how life will love you through this moment? And I thought, wow, that's a bunch of barriers that are coming down, because the barriers in my mind about all the things that I have to do has to do with, I need the time, I need the time, I need the time. But I thought, okay, the challenge, life wants to love me. And so I volunteered to host the call. And so the barriers that are dropping away are, you know what, one step in front of the next, being in the moment. What's going to need to get done will get done. I don't have to plan and look at the list and be stressed. I'm just letting life love me through this moment as I am allowing the barriers to drop. And then I had the delightful note from Vinay that Leonore was going to co-host with me. And that conversation with her was just magical, because her attraction to the quote was different than my attraction to the quote. And so I want to give it over to the co-host now so she can share with you how she interprets this quote. Leonore, over to you. You're muted, sweetheart.
Oh, she unmuted me. Good. But may I go back to you, Deborah? When we spoke, you had an experience with vultures. Do you want to weave that in? I want to give you that space if you want to take it.
The vultures, that would be, let's see if I can be succinct. Many times when I make a decision to do something, life shows me that, oh yeah, that was the right choice. You're walking the right way. And I had the most remarkable experience in the early morning when I went outside to stand in the grass with my bare feet and just enjoy the sunshine. I looked up in the sky. Now, I've seen vultures fly before. I mean, they're just, the turkey vultures, they fly high and they're beautiful. And I've always seen them in a solitary way, because there's always usually one, maybe two in the sky. But I looked up and circling, and I thought, oh dear, circling. Maybe there's something dead. But no, circling. They were circling. There were 6 of them. And for many minutes, they were circling, but not over one spot. They were circling and traveling with the wind around the neighborhood in my house. And I ran to the front yard to watch them. And I was just in awe, because some of them would fly really high. And I thought, okay, the animals have come to give me a message, as well as the number 6. And so when I was done enjoying that moment, I came in to look it all up. And so the number 6, let's see if I know I wrote it down. The number 6 was remove the obstacles in your life to joy and do what your heart wants to do and dance.
Yes.
So that was the first one. I went, okay, so I'm going the right way. And then I looked up vultures. And I thought, everything that I do in Ancient Secrets has a vulture quality about it. And it has to do with removing and muting the dead into life. Those ideas that, when we detox, we're getting rid of toxins, and the vultures are the cleanup crew. And anyway, I think I'm good, Lenora. It's over to you.
Yeah. But the reason why I also liked that you had that experience and wanted to share it is because Carol Ray, no, not our Carol here, Cal Ray, I know another Cal Ray. She had such strong interaction with vultures at her property. And many of you have heard that story. It was really life transforming for her. So that's why I thought vultures are, maybe she's listening to the talk again, and maybe she can chime in with some more vulture stories, because she has a bunch of them, even babies. Her whole relationship with the animal kingdom changed through the vultures. I think it's fair to say that. So I didn't have a nature experience like you, Deborah, but when I got the invitation to come onto this call with you, and he gave me the theme, I responded immediately. I said, that quote from Rumi it encapsulates what I have experienced in the last week very intensely, because I am a person who has prided herself no longer to be a logical or a thinking person, because I grew up in a very cerebral environment in Germany, where my father very unabashedly put the mind and the intellect way above the heart and the emotions. He equated the mind and emotions to be the men think, women have emotions. And so we were three daughters, and we felt from day one really less valuable for that reason. And my mother was very proud of her intellectual thinking. So I grew up and always stepping into those moccasins that didn't ever fit me. So coming to Ancient Secrets, and with Clinchy, I really would like to honor him here, because he opened every single call with the question, let's ask, how did love guide you since the last week or so? That was his key question. And I was flustered by it, because I don't live checking in whether love guides me or not. And so that quote here by Rumi really cuts to the chase, as Rumi says, do not seek the love, but look for the barriers. And I live like I don't chase or look for the love, but my enthusiasm for life, my enthusiasm for Pete's project, it made me do the most unreasonable thing. I wrote this rhyme, many hours, polishing, exchanging words, and I couldn't stop myself. I was literally unstoppable and put everything aside. So I felt, okay, love for the project, love for Ancient Secret guided me, because Pete was guided to initiate this run. He knew next to nothing about Ancient Secrets, but his love for the project made him pull this project off. And so the rhyme was born that way. So in that week where I had so many aha moments, when I got the invitation from Vinay, I had written some letters, emails that were responses to certain things that happen in the world, and the way people conducted business, that I felt I had to give my 5 cents, and I couldn't be quiet. And my intellect just said, yeah, you have to comment on that. And I did it coming from reason. And so I was the missionary, I was the lecturer. And the more I wrote and worked on those emails, the more I felt this was not the right approach. What everybody needs is safe space. And by validating what all these people had done, rightfully so, I felt this flow of love coming from me for what they had already done. And if I wanted to make any contribution and improve anything, then I had to do it by coming with a loving tone and expressing that in writing, in my choice of words. And the emails kept bouncing back. A real conversation happened, and a friendship was built in one case. And I find it more and more that when love guides, even without looking for it, without asking for the love, just if we're present, then the reason is informed by the love. Because love, the heart is a motor, it's energy, and it informs the brain. And the reason without the heart is really nothing. It isn't. It's not informed by the heart. I think you all know what I mean, but I really got fired up about this Rumi quote the more I looked into that. And I hope it resonates with everybody through this week. And I hope when people listen to the call and what we talk about here in the recordings, that it inspires them to come back. And in the breakout rooms too, I want to talk about them because we all have made incredibly beautiful, meaningful connections. It's like sparks. The universe expands. An ancient secret is such a love motor in the world. It's unstoppable. I think I should stop here.
It's beautiful, Leonore. Thank you so, so much. So many people have come in since we started, and I just want to say hi to a few, like Jane. Good to see you, Jane. Sophia, Elmau, makes my heart really happy to see you here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Mary, oh, let's see, Rhonda. So happy you're here. So happy you're here. And Gary, love you, Gary. So glad you're here. Jacob, hugs. Um, who else did I miss? Sharon, hello, and Renee. So glad you're here. And Sue. Just wanted to call out a few more names because for me, that's part of loving you, this beautiful community. And I know each one of you have had an opportunity to experience having a barrier removed that allowed you to feel love that someone had for you coming your way, or for you loving someone else. And I would love to open this up to the community to share. Now's the time. Gary, please.
I just felt it would be, hello, everybody. I just felt it would be wrong of me not to show up today a little bit, just because it's been such a long time and rare that I come in. But I'm so excited that I've been had the opportunity to collaborate with Susan and Joseph on the orchestration of the workshop that's coming up, the gathering the next week, and just wanted to share that there's beautiful things happening everywhere. We're all doing our thing, spreading our love and our wisdom far and wide. Yesterday, I got back from a 10-day experience in Asheville where there was an extraordinary workshop called the Holo Movement, and all about the interconnectedness of us all. But I yesterday flew up to celebrate Hope's 70th birthday with friends and family. And so you should have seen how happy she was being around her friends and gathering. And so, anyway, just wanted to touch base and say I hope that I get to see some of you next week. And I'm kind of coming back again to kind of recommit to my health again. So keep on coming back to the same decisions around taking care of myself. And yeah, just wanted to say and send my love to you all and tell you that I'm looking forward to being with whomever you are, whoever's coming in Sedona. And that's all. Normally I share some music and spoken word or some music in general. I just wanted to extend my love and my good wishes to everybody since it's been such a long time since I've been here.
Gary, thank you so much. And I'm so happy you're here. I don't plan Sunday calls very well. If I had known you would have been here, I would have reached out to have you share a song. But that's
Would
just
you like to rephrase that a little bit, Deborah?
sure. How should I rephrase it?
I want to invite you to say, I am the courageous, self-loving, innocent, beautiful energy that loves to say yes to new experiences so that I
Oh,
can learn and be how loving I can be, even if it's not as polished as I think other people do it.
oh, that's so beautiful. Listen to how he removed some barriers for me.
I don't think anybody's thinking that you're not doing this well. Trust me.
I love you, Gary. Thank
I
you for
love you
being here.
too. Take care.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
Anyone else have some experience that you discovered? You know, Clint asks not only well in these calls he asks when we go to the breakout, what did love teach you today? So,
Mm,
you know, sometimes at the calls we get barriers removed or we have aha moments. And I
mhm.
know this community is filled with them. Cornelia.
Yeah, what I wanted to share has not so much to do with what's happening on those calls, but what was a big aha moment and a life-changing moment in my life.
Mm.
And it had actually to do with the having a lot of resistance, loving my parents due to the circumstances I grew up in with
Mm.
alcoholic father, and then also having a mother, and they were constantly fighting, and so I didn't really have a nice youth and early childhood. And I, of course, had a lot of resistance, and I never really felt part of the family. And I don't know how old I was when somebody kind of brought this idea towards me that I am actually the one who chose my parents. And I sat with that for quite a while. And when I actually realized that if that is the case, if I chose my parents, there's no one to blame. I am the one who chose those experiences. And the moment that really sank into my heart, all the resistance of loving my parents was gone because I actually had chosen them. And so that was for me a moment where I could really start to open my heart towards them. And I had, after my father passed away, I had a conversation with my mom, and she said, I'm always was so afraid that you would hold against me that I stayed with him and we had all these fights and you had this horrible childhood. And I said, no, I believe that I chose you. So there's nothing for me to blame you. And I just love you and thanked her for the experience she gave me because it made me who I am. And that was such a defining moment in my life to really let go of that barrier that I had carried all my childhood
Oh,
and
that's beautiful.
my young adulthood until I had this conversation. So
That's beautiful.
yeah,
Thank you, Cornelia, for sharing. That was beautiful. Esther.
Okay, can you hear me? My screen is a little weird today.
Yes.
Yeah, so really relating, Cornelia, most recently to your last spoken word, yeah, growing up with an alcoholic mother, I can definitely relate to that whole process. But what made me raise my hand is, well, two things. Originally, and what I do want to share is that years ago, when I was in a 3-year program with Gene Houston, we had an exercise that I think Gay Luce introduced to us. And in it, we were paired in dyads, one across the other. And one person's job was to send as much unconditional love as possible. And the other person's job was to block it, feeling, this is all on the feeling. And what a revelation that was to experience both sides of it. How difficult it is when you really, really, really love someone or something, and they have their own shielding, so they're preventing your love from entering. And and then being on the other side of it brought to light the subconscious uh, ways in which we do, block out, or where I did block out. And it was so powerful. So sharing that as something that perhaps you can, anybody that wants to could experiment with and just become more conscious of. And then the other thing that impelled me after hearing Gary is that, Gary, if you're still here on this call, knowing you, I have a feeling you could just spontaneously take us into that beautiful heart space that you are so adept at with your word or with some sound of music, whatever. I don't, not to put you on the spot, but I just, when I realized, when I first came on the call, we're almost on every call. And to me, you were like a particular Sunday meeting I used to go to where the speaker was quite brilliant. But I would say most of us were there because of the choir and the incredible feelings of deep love generated that come through music. And Gary, what do you think? What does your heart respond to in terms of maybe just guiding us for a few moments into the heart space as you so beautifully do?
I think that they've planned some things for this time, and I'm not sure there's time for me to offer anything at this point.
You know what, Gary? I always shoot from the hip. I didn't plan anything. So if you're willing, I'm grateful.
Well, let me take a couple minutes to ponder over what might be
Sure,
appropriate. Okay.
please. We've got hands up. We'll go through the hands. Luke.
So this is a story about how love heals, involving somebody here in our community, and I see him on the call today. And I'd like to take this moment to tell this story about how love heals. So about 2.5 months ago, I got a very serious shoulder injury, which turned out to be a full rotator cuff tear, so bad that in the MRI, the orthopedic doctor said that it's so bad he couldn't even repair it. He wanted to do what he called a shoulder replacement. So in my endeavoring to avoid that, I've been in physical therapy and I've been doing very, very well. And my physical therapist said from when I first came there, starting he thinks I would need surgery, to recently saying, Luke, you're doing great, and I don't think you're going to need surgery because I'm improving so much. But I was concerned I wouldn't be able to make it to Sedona. And I had made all my reservations back in February. That's how excited I was. When this happened, especially in the beginning when I had no mobility and no strength in that shoulder, I said, how am I ever going to make it to Sedona? And I resigned myself to not going. I said, I'm just going to have to miss it. And as the weeks went on, I just said, okay. And I felt badly. Every time I came on these calls and it was talked about Sedona, I said, I can't believe I'm not going to be able to get there because of this. The pain and dealing with the luggage and everything in the airports. How am I going to do it in the long days of activities? Because even as things have been getting better, there's still pain and soreness that I'm dealing with. So I remember I was in a breakout room a couple of months ago, and one of the people in there was Ron Wirtz. Ron, I saw you here a moment ago. What happened to you? Anyway, Ron told a story a couple of months ago, or more than that, about he came to Sedona 2 years ago, our first get together, and he had recently had double back surgery. And about 6 months before that, he had a full shoulder reconstruction. And even though he was in pain, he made it to Sedona. And I found that so inspiring. So I made an arrangement to talk with Ron on the phone recently, and we talked on the phone. And this man gave me so much love over the phone and gave me so much inspiration that with all of his pain 2 years ago from multiple surgeries, he went to Sedona. And I said, I think I could do it then. And Ron said to me, Luke, you're going to be there. I'm going to be shaking your hand and hugging you. And I know you're going to be there. And he gave me so much love. And he gave me the confidence to know that I can do this. And if I have to deal with a little bit of pain and soreness, I'll do it. So I saw Ron here a moment ago, and now he's not here. But this man gave me so much love over the phone and so much inspiration. And as a result of that, now, Susan occasionally would get in touch with me and saying, Luke, do you think you can go? And I said, I don't really think so. And just a few days ago, she texted me and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Susan, I'm coming." And she was really happy for me. And I'm so happy and my heart is filled because I now have the confidence, but I owe so much of that to Ron Wirtz, this beautiful, beautiful man who helped me so much because of his experience and inspired me to give me confidence to know that I could make it there. So thank you so much, Ron. I know you were here before. You may have left, but I so look forward to seeing all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, and giving lots of hugs with both of my arms and both of my, see how I can lift my arms up now. And I'm so happy. And what a beautiful community. I love you all. And I now feel confident that I will be there in just a little over a week. So thank you so
Luke.
much.
Thank you. Let's give him a blast of love for the rest of that healing for that shoulder so that there's no pain. He's worked through a barrier. Wow. I love it. Thank you, Luke. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
And thank Ron Wirtz. What a beautiful man.
Thank you, Ron. If you're watching the replay, I know you were here. We greeted you earlier. Thank you. And Shifra, where'd you go? There you are. You're next, girl.
Yeah. So it was about love. Remind me again what the top.
So the quote, reason is powerless in the expression of love. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it.
Yeah, I think that's a really beautiful quote. Because I do have a really big heart, but sometimes if I'm coming more from my heart center, if I'm coming more from my, somebody called at that very moment, it was just funny. If I'm coming more from my heart center than more from a, I don't know, lawyer-like, argumentative kind of place, it's much better, you know. I had an experience with somebody in the community has been like mentoring me on how to heal from, you know, emotional and physical stuff, and I was in the arboretum, and it was a beautiful day, and I was gonna go get. I was on my, okay, I have to go home and I have to get a bus. And I thought, why don't you stay in the arboretum? It's really, really beautiful. And then I went and I saw there was a buttercup, a yellow flower with a little tiny butterfly in it. And it was just so beautiful. I can't tell you. It was like, I believe in fairies, and it was just like full of fairies this day. I could feel them everywhere. And I thought, I'm going to call my friend S, you know, because she's really into fairies. And I called her, and it was just her brother had given birth to a baby. Actually, her brother's partner had given birth to a baby. Anyway, and she was very deeply concerned because her brother was very abusive to her, and you know, and she's very concerned about this baby. And you know, she's in Mexico. I don't know where her brother is. And so we were able to pray for her by sending love to that baby. We talked to the baby, and we sent love to the baby, and we sent love to the father, and said, you know, just because you've been messed up before, it doesn't mean you have to keep being messed up. You can, you know, we just sent love. And then to the mother, and it was just this, it was very, very powerful. And yeah, I was moved by what Cornelia said, because I've felt that way sometimes, that I came to learn certain lessons. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but but here you know, that was the process. And I think that, you know, that love, my mom her name is Wanjiro. I told her my mother died when I was 6. Somebody I met on the bus, and she's been my mother ever since. And so last night she called me in the middle of a conversation, like where we're bringing together Jews and Palestinians and other people on a call about a trip that I feel was based on love by a dear friend. And my mother calls in the middle. My blood pressure is really high. and she was really scared. And I was just like, Ma, your pressure's going to go down. And I was on the phone with her, and then I prayed on the call, and I was frightened. Like, is she going to be okay? She's getting retinal surgery. Her name is Wanjiru. So if we can send love to my mom, to Wanjiru, anybody who's ill, Wanjiru,
Yes.
and also, you know, maybe that's the thing that will change. You know, so many people's lives are at stake in Gaza, and maybe we send love to everybody there. We send love to those children, and we send love to the leaders of the government, and we send love to the people that are doing this craziness, so that love can break that blockade, and people can be fed, and not just there, anywhere in the world, that love goes out to the
Thank
world
you.
and to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Shifra. Thank you. Let's do that. All those words, sending love and peace, love and peace and healing for your mom. Thank you. Gary, do you know what? If you have a doctor friend and you have something wrong with you and you go to a party and he's there, you just don't usually ask him to diagnose you and give you a prescription at the table. And the fact that your hand is raised and you're here after you've been asked is just a blessing. So, Gary,
Well, I saw Susan and Joseph had raised their hands. Susan and Joseph, did you want to say something before I share something?
Thank you, Gary. I did, and then I didn't, and now I do. And so one of the things that has come to me in this call is just the recognition that everybody on this call and everybody in the community is creating and has created the now field of love, that those of us that have the blessing of being able to travel and be together are going to so be connected to everybody. And I want, in my heart of hearts, I want you to know that your love and your support and your energy is with us, and it's creating this one beautiful field where we'll see what emerges. So I really wanted to honor that. And then regarding the quote, I was so struck by in the creation of this event, when I'm in my head and I'm worried and I'm thinking, what's here, what's here, what's here, creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of unhappiness. And I've really watched myself in that process. And when I remember what is really the truth here about love and about belonging and about acceptance, and when I take the barriers down and feel the truth, it completely creates a different experience. And I've probably gone through that process. I won't even tell you how many times, many, many, many times, more than twice, trust me, where I get so uptight and so scared and so worried. And then it's like, what the heck is this about? And it really isn't about anything that's happening in this community. It really is about past stuff that has come through my lineage. And it's just been a profound growing experience. And in my tradition, we have an expression at Passover called Dayenu. It's enough. It's enough. So I'm just going to say a big Dayenu right now. If nothing else happened and there wasn't even a conference, Dayenu, we've learned enough. There's enough. So I wanted to just truly acknowledge all the love and support in this community and the beauty of it being sent around the world, and the inclusiveness and the beauty that you all are co-creating for our gathering. So thanks, Gary.
If I can just tack on to that, what I just heard and felt is that not physically being in Sedona should not be a barrier to connecting to the oneness of the love in the community, and that we are all in this there together. No barriers.
No barriers. Thanks.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Susan. The incredible thing that you just shared is that quantum science has taught us that we are all connected. What we're going to experience in Sedona, every one of us that are heart connected are going to experience too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's a perfect time.
Mhm.
Thank you. Perfect setup, Joseph and Susan. I am a firm believer in the power of collective listening as a form of community prayer. And every second that we are all joined together, in some ways, even especially on Zoom, because we're deprived the biofields that happen that we know exist when we're in proximity to one another. And so, in some ways, I've often said that by being on Zoom, it actually, like when somebody loses a sense of hearing or seeing, or that it actually heightens the other senses. In some ways, the Zoom is an invitation, I believe, to heighten the sense of our capacity to tap into our unified field of connection that goes beyond time and space, right? So, in other words, the muscle or the sense or the capacity to feel our connection beyond time and space is actually, I believe, heightened and available to us more when we're together like this in strange ways. It's a strange hypothesis. But then when I started discovering through a thing I did a few years ago called the Rest in Resonance, it was the 7 days of rest and renewal. I found that every second we're listening together in alignment, there's a magnification of our unified connectedness on the molecular quantum field. So whether it's true or not, right? Let's all practice together in a very short piece of music that allows ourselves to not only open our hearts, but to actually open access to our souls, our hearts, our bodies, our minds, and even our spirit connection to God. And together, we feel the blessing of Dr. Naam's work and the incredible devotion that Clint exhibited for the 10 years that he traveled around the world with him, and the beautiful community that emerged out of this. And let's use this muscle in this 2 minutes of music. This is a cue that I wrote for the Thrive movie. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's Thrive 2. This is what it takes. You can see it on YouTube for free. I believe that there's I forget the name of the place where you can find the movie in a higher res form. But anyway, what I want to say also, just because I don't want to promote anything afterwards, some of you might know, my whole Wisdom of the World website has been completely destroyed by crypto thieves. And everything that I put all my life's work into has completely been undermined and destroyed. And as of the last month, I've had to understand Aditi Bedewabawa at a level that is hard to do, but I actually have really got a lot of value in recognizing there was a part of me that felt like I wasn't valid, if there wasn't something out there telling the world about my past accomplishments and my egoic need to be important or to prove my worth. Well, it's all gone. And I have the opportunity to establish a new world. And I'm going to create a world called Portals of Awe. And because awe is the precursor to that unitive experience, right? And I'm collecting people who want to be a part of this community. We're going to be celebrating the art of being together, celebrating our intimacy through authenticity, vulnerability, and wonder, right? And music being a big part of that. So if you want to go to Portals of Awe, I'll put it on the chat. And right now, all there is a capture page because everything else is destroyed. Or my new nonprofit I'll put there as well. That's there, but it's not much about me. So let's get away from that for a minute. Let's drop in for a second. Let's align our energies. Let's take a deep, deep breath. And let's practice the art of listening as a collective form of prayer. And to sensitize and deepen our ability to feel our hearts, bodies, and souls and minds opening as we listen together. And just somebody needs to let me share my screen, please. And just, we all know how to ground our feet on the ground, and we all know how to have our back erect and opening and a breath full. And let's just, oh, somebody who has the host ability needs to give myself the ability to share. So whoever's in charge of that, I need someone to give me the ability to share screen.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Cornelia's
There we go.
done. Got it.
So, and thank you again, Debra-Ann, for this opportunity. It's an unexpected moment. Like, it's always great when something happens like this. Okay, so I want us all to just close our eyes. This is not a random share moment. This is a deepening experiment of the unified connection we all have beyond space and time. Ready? Let's take a deep breath, and let's also add some skin in the game by bringing in the deep gratitude we have for all of who we are and all that's brought us together. This is one of my favorite cues that's very short from the movie Thrive. Now just let there be silence for about a minute and feel what the results of your listening practice as a group has yielded. Let's just take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes and be tender with your awareness of where you are now in the unified field space of this community. And it'll be nice to have a couple of people share what might they have experienced in regards to stretching their capacity for feeling the oneness within themselves and with all on the call. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Carrie. I said I was challenged to experience that life itself wanted to love me through this experience. I just was loved and connected to each of you. Katie?
I so deeply felt what a connected community this is, and what a safe space for our hearts this is. What a safe space from my heart this has become and is. I love you all so much.
Robin.
Yeah, so I would I tell people that this is the first Zoom community that I ever felt love coming across the Zoom screen. And so when Gary, you said we were going to do this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great experience. And the piece of music was completely brilliant. It absolutely was what you said it would be. And the being able to consciously recognize that we're this loving network that goes around the world is like, it was such a powerful exercise. And right at the end, as it was ending, and or what you asked us or mentioned at the end, I realized it was like this, the whole of everybody in the universe could wind up feeling this wave that comes out of when we do that. So it was amazing.
Robin, you just gave me the goosebumps. That is exactly what I was hoping you would experience. So, yeah, there is something to this. And I love the idea of doing these short cues because there's something about being able to track the nuance as we're learning these skills of our interconnectedness. And basically, that's what the Holo Movement gathering was all about. So maybe I'll have an opportunity to share more about what Hope and I shared during that workshop, which got a lot of great reviews, by the way. But yeah, thank you, Robin. That was beautiful. That's what I hoped to achieve. Anybody else have a desire to share what was in their hearts?
I did.
Leonore, please.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that the Zoom experience is very powerful too, Gary, because we met yesterday for the first time. I met Mindy for the first time, and it was like, she is exactly like I experienced her in the Zoom. So those people who have met in Sedona, which I didn't, they know that there is this, yes, the recognition. But I really want to second what Gary said. This community here through the screen, because there is not, I don't know what you call it, the outer world drops away. It becomes very intimate, and not only because of what we say, there is really something coming through here, through the sound. Thank you for this piece where we are together. I learned that from Greg Braden and all of these new thinkers, the morphic field. There is a new morphic field that connects all of us, and it goes beyond even those who are present, like you said also. We have created a morphic field that it has a huge, subtle, beautiful ripple effect. Thank you for adding the music, Gary.
Thank you, Leonore. Shifra.
Wow, I was really amazed by that. And I'm sitting here and my hands keep going like this involuntarily. Like I'm not doing this on purpose. And I was having a moment of embarrassment, like, oh, there she goes talking about Gaza again. People are so sick of hearing that. But what came through me was now is the time to love. And it's not about pointing fingers, but now is the time to love, and that it's to love, the entire world, and that I don't understand how it will happen, but that love will permeate everywhere on this planet. It will, starting in me, because I'm me, and in each and every one of us, And that when that love takes us over, and I just keep feeling my hands won't stop going like this,
Thank you,
that
Sarah.
that will that will heal, and don't just do it, just be it, don't
Yes.
hold back, don't hold back. June 4th is my birthday. I'm just letting people know.
Ah,
Happy early birthday.
happy birthday. Yeah, no, love is the most powerful force in the universe. And when we can use the universal language of human emotion to help us
Right.
connect all parts of ourselves to love, it magnifies exponentially. So I'm loving that people are responding positively to this.
Thank you,
I
Shifa.
put in
Thank
the
you.
quote. I mean, I put a famous quote that that when two or three or more are gathered, I am uh, that beautiful day. I am there among them. There is a sacredness when intention is joined, not additive, but exponential, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Belle. You're muted, sweetie.
It's on Renee. So
Oh, on Renee.
I'm on Belle's shoulder today. Actually, the visualization I had was of a young girl, a very innocent young girl walking through a flower meadow. Yeah, and just being in the awe of the earth. And then at some point, she gets beamed up. And how I saw it was like DNA spirals just beaming her up higher. And she is taken into the crystalline city that is above Sedona, in higher dimensional crystalline city. And I don't know how many people know this, but there are crystalline cities above different uh, places around the earth and different cities. And it is said that the crystalline city above Sedona will be the first one that really anchors into the physical in a very tangible way. And so maybe that's what we're doing there, is like helping that to really anchor in. And, I like to see the crystalline cities as the, I don't know, with the fountains and the pearls and all of the beautiful gemstones and beauty everywhere, and just an era of even beyond the golden age that we think of for the earth, but something so beautiful, it's so exquisite that we can't even imagine what it might be. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, on Renee. Beautiful. Cornelia.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that being there and listening to the music and really feeling that energy field that we are creating every Sunday. And it was definitely enhanced by all of us focusing and listening to the music. And it reminded me, and I just wanted also to give a little bit of a scientific explanation. I was at an event with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he has always tried to explain things that are not explainable by doing scientific research. And he had a room full of people, measured the energy in the room before we arrived, during the first couple of days when we were in the room, and in the evening. And then one morning we went all out to do a walking meditation in a park a couple of miles away. And they measured the energy in the room while we were actually doing a meditation outside of the room, and the energy increased in the room. And that shows us that whenever you are actually in a room and your energy is enhanced, you are even leaving this place, energy connection with it, and you can raise it by you are raising the energy. And this is what I'm feeling every Sunday that we are doing. We are creating this virtual space where we're putting all our energy in, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And with every time we come together and have this intention of sharing the love and the community with each other, we are actually creating such a strong field that we are enhancing it, and we can just bask in it. And thank you, Gary, for that experience with the music again. It just felt me so connected to everyone here on the call, but also the people that are not on the call, because we still have an influence on them by us gathering. And the same will be true, the people that are gathering in Sedona. Everyone who is not coming will be part of it just because we are connected.
Beautiful. Gary, my heart thanks to you. we created a field that you were part of, and you you created something that was beautiful and informative, and explained something that I felt for a long time, that these Zoom meetings are very, very powerful. They're a field. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Remember, we're all portals. Sometimes we don't know when we create something, what we've created. I didn't realize that when I came back and listened to that piece of music years after I created it, that suddenly I realized it was a gateway into such a sublime beauty. That wasn't me, it was what came through me. So I'm sure that's true for every single person on this call. There's something of great beauty that comes out of you, through you, as a portal every day. And we rarely get to see it accurately. And that's why relationship and being in community is so important. So look in the mirror and see what a beauty you are. And that's what it's all about. Love you guys.
And so it is. Thank you. I know now we get the privilege of meeting and having more space to speak with one another in the breakout rooms. And I don't know if they're ready or not. Yes. Okay. So let us do our traditional send off to everyone in the community.
One thing, Debra-Ann, one thing.
Yes, please.
I was just thinking about the hokey pokey, and that's the answer, Gary, to the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. Good to know. Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Susan. Very fun. Oh, each beautiful, bright, shiny star that's right here reflected on the screen that I see. I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I am
I love
with
you and I'm
you.
with
Love you and
you.
I'm with
Love you and I'm with
I
you.
love you and I'm
I
with
love
you.
you and I'm with you.
Gary,
Debra-Ann,
thank you, Debra-Ann. Great call.
Wonderful
And I'm
call.
with you.
Love you and I'm with
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.